necessary, no matter how bizarre their powers may seem.
Don't know when to give up, do you?
I can do this all day.
It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
There can be only one.
Welcome, everybody, to Boutique Battle Bash. We have an amazing stream for you all tonight. We have IMPRINT versus SYNAPSE. So we have our amazing judges up here tonight, top of the panel. Jake, you ready for this?
I think so. I had about like 6 hours notice or something, but yeah, I'm ready to judge. I've wanted to be a judge
you're like
for a while.
Surprise judge here, so yeah. That'll be fun. But you've played this before.
I have, yeah.
So now you get to judge.
I enjoy being a participant in these, so it should be a really fun time to kind of judge the people below me too.
All right, and then Corey growed out the beard here for the stream tonight. Very wise. How are you feeling, Corey?
I'm doing great, and I'm excited for this. I know a lot of the people down in the panel and the competition tonight, and I know they all have some really great collections, and I'm excited to see what stuff they pull out to wow us tonight with.
And Corey, you've played before too in a battle bash, so
yeah, and I lost to another judge that's on the panel. No, just kidding. Maybe Jake. No, it's a fun time though. It's fun even on the other side to see what the competition is pulling out. It's fun to see what they pull out to represent whatever that category is for the round.
Agreed.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and remind the audience how this works. So with Boutique Battle Bash, we have different rounds. There's going to be 4 rounds total. First round, we're going to focus on packaging. So everything about the aesthetics to the casing, what you see on the shelf, what makes you want to pay that extra money just to pick up for the artistic nature of it all. So that's packaging. Round 2, we get into focusing on the disc. So everything about the disc. You can talk about the movies on the disc. You can talk about the special features, the quality of transfer, audio tracks, visuals, all of that great stuff. That is round 2. Third round, we've expanded this round a little bit to give everybody a fighting chance here. So we have box sets, collections, sequels, or creativity. So there might be a customization within that. We'll see what people have prepared tonight. And then fourth round, best overall, what represents your boutique label the most? That's what you have to convince us judges on. And so before we get into introducing these amazing teams that are going to battle tonight for all the glory out there, Jake, just to give some people an insight into your judging mind here, what are you looking for tonight overall?
I'm an open book at the moment. I really like both Synapse and IMPRINT. I have a good chunk of their stuff in my collection. I know there's pros and cons to both. I'm not really biased either way, so I am just really going for passion with what you're kind of presenting, and yeah, just try to win me over. Simple as that.
All right, how about you, Corey?
So I have a little bit like Jake and a little bit different. Where the different is, I have a little of both of the the labels in my collection, but not a lot. But what I'm going to be looking for is what people are bringing when they present that title, whatever they are doing for that category. Really sell it to me. Let me know why you think that takes that category. Yep. And yeah, I'm excited also to see how many things I'm going to put in a card after this too and buy. So
agreed. It's not just about what movie you pull. It's about the specific category.
Yeah.
So yeah, just wanted to share that too.
And I'm totally qualified Judge Mike tonight. So, I'm very prepared to judge both of these labels. A lot of experience here with both of these. Just joking. Zero experience here. I don't have any IMPRINT titles. I don't have any Synapse titles. But that, once again, makes me an open book. Like Jake was saying, open book tonight. So you guys are going to have to really convince me. This is an entertaining match here. You guys have to debate. You guys have to back up your choices. And, of course, remember, pick some good movies here too, especially in the last 3 rounds. If you bring garbage movies to me, you're going to get garbage results. You can get away with that in the first round because first round's packaging. But after that, at least pick a watchable movie, please. Okay? But yeah, that's just my little caveat right there. All right, let's go ahead and introduce these amazing teams. First up, we got Nate from Geeks and Flicks. Nate, how are you doing tonight? And you ready to represent your boutique label?
I'm ready to try my best. Yes, thank you for having me on. I love this show. I love watching it. I like being on it. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I watched the last one. I know the guy below me. He was on it and he was really good. So I'm watching him. I got my eye on him, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, and Tony.
Yes. Hey, glad to be here. Hopefully, I can help my team out. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
You definitely got the titles behind you, so you're
Yeah.
bringing the supply of the titles tonight. All right, Ryan, how about you?
I'm doing well. It's the first time in any of these I've ever been on Tony's team, so I think we're kind of like destined to win here.
Oh Lord, pressure.
And Aaron was never named Mr. Synapse, so I think we'll be all right.
Oh, fighting
Shots
words.
fired.
All right, well, that is the Imprint team right there. Now we have the Synapse team. Aaron, you are feeling energized tonight. I can tell you are ready for this.
I am on coffee and fumes, my friends, but I'm in a different spot today. But this is actually a big spot for my channel because where I'm sitting at right now is where I was making a video when Marrakesh had the massive earthquake. So, yeah. But yeah, I am ready because Synapse is a company that did a lot right. So I think we might have a slightly better chance than we did in the last one. I see who I'm facing, and that's going to be tough. And Jake was tough in the last one, so it's going to be different.
I'm going to be a tough judge too, Aaron. So,
all right, and Rob, welcome back to the channel, man. How you feeling out there?
Feeling good, man. You know, tired. Had work today, but I'm here to show you some Synapse films. Hopefully, I can show you some good ones. Maybe the judges will like them. But I'm just here to have some fun, hear about some good movies. Haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought it'd be like, oh, I'll try this out. Let's do it.
Well, we're happy to have you, of course. And then Brian is back again on another Boutique Battle Bash. Brian, how you feeling out there?
Feeling pretty good. I'm ready to see what everybody's got under their belts to show tonight and see if we can take this one home.
All right. So just a reminder once again for the audience out there, if you love these boutique battles, go ahead and bash that like and subscribe to help support the channel. If you would like a comment read live, imprint us with some super chats. And if you would like to help choose a future Boutique Battle Bash topic, use your Synapse to consider some memberships out there, okay? All right, so we are ready to battle. So once again, first round, we are focusing on packaging. So Nate, you ready to start this off for us? Oh, and judges, you have your voting apparatus out there?
Yep. Sure do. I'm a trusty Post-it notes.
Right, I got something, right? Imprint, Synapse, right?
Yeah,
something?
sure. I do, yes.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Maybe.
See, this is very official. We have very official voting equipment here.
Yep.
All right, Nate, take it away.
All right, this one's kind of tough because there's a lot of options as far as packaging when it comes to imprint. Kino was pretty easy. It was slipcovers and plastic. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with this one. So this is more of like a special, like limited edition type release, but it's one movie. I didn't want to do like anything too crazy. So I'm gonna show The Bounty. Now this stars Mel Gibson. Anthony Hopkins is of course a remake of Mutiny on the Bounty. There you see it. It's a big thick box, numbered on the bottom, the little eye on the top. The back, you get a movie quote. So I like that the back isn't just like all the specs of everything. Then you open this bad boy up. Okay. Oh, and this box is it's hard. It's a hard box. It's not a flimsy little cheap box. All right. You get a book, but we're not really talking about books. But hey, look, there's a book. I know people like books. This has one. You get one case with different artwork than the outside for the actual movie. That's the case for the movie. And then you actually get another case with a different artwork for all the special features. Actually, not all, because the regular disc has some. This has a bunch of other ones. So you have 2 different cases, 2 different artworks, a different artwork on the outside box. You know, people love artwork. They like everything to look a little bit different. You don't want to just get the same thing over and over. You get a nice, sturdy, hard box. So I'm going to go with that as my first choice for the packaging for Imprint.
All right. So Nate, you chose Mutiny on the Bounty, right?
Just the Bounty.
Oh, it's just the Bounty.
Yeah, but it's a remake of Mutiny on the Bounty.
Okay, okay. I'm like, I thought I've heard of it before, but I wasn't too sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Aaron, what do you have to combat that?
I went in a different direction. One, I chose a better film. I chose a director's best film. And the packaging I thought was fantastic. And this is the steelbook for Dario Argento's Tenebrae, or as I like to call it, the best movie Dario Argento ever made, and that includes Deep Red and Suspiria. This is the one, guys. If you've never watched Giallo, this is the one to watch. It is incredibly done. I love the back of this, the terror beyond belief. And when you open it up, we have the Blu-ray. I didn't go to 4K. There's the Blu-ray itself. We got the DVD, and right here is the big thing. We have the soundtrack, and the soundtrack for Tenebrae is one of my favorite movie soundtracks of all time. There is the booklet, of course, and one of the great things about this one, because I wondered where I was going to put this one, I knew this one had to be here, because one, I think it's one of the best things that Synapse ever put out. But here's the thing. It could have been under special features, because it has a comprehensive, like, hour-and-a-half long documentary called Yellow Fever, with the whole, like, Giallo genre. It could have been under, like, just basically the overall doing Synapse, because this is amazing remaster. And one thing you're going to find out in these rounds, guys, is that Synapse is one of the masters of remastering films. They are incredible when it comes to that. And this is one of the places they're going to shine above Imprint, above a lot of other companies. This one here, packaging-wise, it is gorgeous. It's a steelbook. Baby, this is the time. This is Steelbook's era. This is when Steelbooks are kind of making their big comeback. And this has always been one of my favorites, and one that was kind of a late entry. I was talking to a friend of mine tonight, and I had all my stuff picked out. And I'm like, there's one category I'm not quite sure on. And he said, well, are you putting in, like, the Tenebrae Steelbook? You got to do the Tenebrae Steelbook. I'm like, oh, my God, that's Synapse. And this is one of the best things that I've seen that they put out. And I don't know if anybody else has this on their list to put out in any of the things, but I love this movie. It is fantastic. It is a wonderfully gorgeous film, from, like, the first shot to that ending that you never forget, with Darren Nicolotti screaming in the rain. And the packaging on this is some of my favorite, and it's my favorite steelbook. It is my favorite steelbook of all time. I always loved it.
All right. So Aaron with the Tenebrae Steelbook.
If I can't say something,
Mm-hmm.
if I can't say something, it's a nice steelbook. Great artwork. But it is a steelbook. If you look right here, I have many steelbooks lined up. It is not necessarily a unique package style, whereas Imprint, I don't know another one that has that exact, it has a very distinct look. The thick hard box, the little triangle cut out at the top. It's not just a steelbook with nice art on it. It is its own unique style of packaging. And if we're thinking packaging, I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. Steelbooks are steelbooks. There's a lot of them. Imprint is the only one that I know that looks specifically like this as far as the box set. So I'm just throwing that out there to the judges. I'm just throwing that out there, and we'll see where it lands.
To counterpoint that, that's kind of becoming Imprint's norm, though. Like, those sets are kind of become their norm. And it's not just them. Look at Umbrella, that does, like, similar style sets with their Mara Brothers, their Houseboats of Horrors, and those, Second Sight with their book releases. So that's becoming more the norm right now. So steelbooks have kind of come and gone, and it's been cyclical.
Yeah.
But that's becoming more of what we see normally, as opposed to being as special right now.
But it is. I get your point, but this specific style, fat boxes are not necessarily new, right? There's plenty that do boxes, but the distinct numbered spine, the eye, the triangle, it is uniquely Imprint, and you made a good point. You said that is their norm. The steelbooks is no one's norm. Everybody has steelbooks. So that's all I'm going to say.
It's also an odd argument to say that your chosen style for packaging has come and gone. Just saying.
Well, not really. I mean, like everything's cyclical. Like it's made its sneaky guys. See, I need more caffeine tonight.
We knew you were tired. We were going to pounce.
But the Synapse steelbooks are also very thick and durable in quality too. They're not like thin, flimsy, little cheap marble steelbooks or anything like that. They're really
extra steel.
They are. They do have extra steel.
They are like when you look at the type of steelbooks, they are like some of the better ones that we see.
They're heavier.
Oh God, yes. Like I got this one as a birthday gift from a viewer actually, and I thought it was a set. Like when I picked it up, because it is one of those that has a bit of girth to it. So I've got a lot of steelbooks in my collection, and there's a difference in like the average steelbook and like, okay, this is well done. This one was extremely well done.
All right. Well, on that point, judges, do we have enough information to vote?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get our answer ready. We will reveal on 3. So, okay, tough one. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, reveal.
Oh, you might have I put Imprint.
Ooh, 2.
I just got an I. I can't spell, so I just go with the first letter.
No, that works perfect, Corey. So Synapse just edges out Imprint by a little bit.
It's not just because I'm a steelbook guy, because I am, but I will say that the artwork that was on both of those releases, I much prefer the Synapse with the nice little gloss pops on there. The Bounty always seemed weird to have a double box set anyway, one movie. I know the special features, it's nice to have all of that artwork, but it all just kind of meshed together. That steelbook for me is very, very memorable.
I'll say if the category was just straight up artwork, I would have gone Synapse. I would have gone with that steelbook if it was just straight up just artwork. But for packaging, the Imprint, I like I don't know why, the box with the little notch on there. I kind of like it's their little signature.
No,
their
I agree.
Little, and then having different artwork on each of the things. That's an annoying thing for me is when you got like a slipcase and then a movie underneath it. It's the exact same thing. There's no reversible artwork, nothing different. Like you're just repeating the same thing. But when they have 3 different things there that they're showing different artwork with, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was a tough choice for me, but I felt the steelbook for Tenebrae represented the movie more than that box set for Bounty. Just looking at that box set, I don't really know what the movie's about. I'm like, a little plain. Tenebrae, you're like, okay, I know it's a giallo film. It's just so intense with the eye that's glimmering there. So I'm like, catches my eye. So
I don't have a lot of space in my collection back here. I don't know if you noticed that. He had 3 discs in a steelbook. That big box had 2 discs. No. Sometimes I need to condense, and sometimes that's good for packaging.
All right, so Synapse in the lead with 1 point. 1 point for first round. All right, so let's go ahead and now switch to the other side to start. Rob, what do we got for Synapse?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I thought when it came to packaging, it was more about the image that was on the case rather than the actual packaging that it came in. So I went with Undertaker, which is a very underrated Synapse film. That for me, it just when I would pull this off the shelf, when I first saw this one, it went right to the packaging and these like zombies. This is a Japanese film with the but it was very plain, but the front to me just screamed like at me. So I went with this one. I don't know why I didn't think that it was about like steelbook packaging and stuff like that. But I do love the way that Synapse always adds in their little film booklet here. They always do something cool like that. But for me, it always goes back to the image on the front, especially like back in the day at the movie store. This is how you'd watch something.
All right. Yeah, and artwork definitely plays a part. So you definitely can totally sell us on the art there. So that totally counts for the first round. But Tony, what do you have to combat that?
Okay, since we're in the Halloween season, I went with this beautiful box set for The Wicker Man. This is a folk horror film from 1973. And if you look at the packaging, you can tell exactly what it is that you're getting into. But it's a beautiful box set. You open it up, it's got the nice little triangle, as everybody has pointed out. But it does come with 3 separate cases. We have our theatrical and director's cut with some really beautiful looking artwork on the inside. We also have the final cut with different artwork that everybody likes to have different artwork. And we also have special features. So we have 3 discs, 3 cases, all with different purposes. And that's the reason why I chose this one for the packaging. If you like films like Midsommar and other folk horror, this right here, to me, would be a pick.
All right. Teams got anything to say on either of those?
Those are 2 excellent choices. I mean, I haven't seen the one that that Rob showed, which actually I'm kind of interested in it because I like the Japanese horror. I love it.
It was a weird one to see Synapse release, so that's why I really grabbed it, because I was like, you don't see them doing like too many of like these like Japanese films or anything like that.
Yeah,
I think it's an interesting choice because it's something different. I think if you want to go for like image packaging wise, it's evocative of what what the film looks to be, which I think is kind of what we're going for here. It's a tough round, guys. It's a tough round, but it's a really good choice.
All right. Nate's like, just get to the vote. It's time to vote. All right. Judges, we ready? We got an answer?
Yep.
All right. On 3, 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, and Jake even has it.
I pulled my favorite release from both labels. It was just going to be an automatic win, and this is like one of my favorite pieces of physical media in my collection. So, yeah, great looking release.
Yeah, that was a great looking box. You can totally tell what the movie's about with the images on it. So that's what really sold me just right away. And then when you pulled out the different cases, I'm like, oh my gosh, even more artwork on the inside. No brainer choice for me. That was a great one. I do like how, Rob, you did pick a choice that we haven't heard of, though. Something a little bit more obscure to kind of get people's eyes on. So that was really cool. But just Wicker Man had it all in that packaging.
And with Jake's limited space, he found time and space for this particular.
He let that one get in. He let that one get in.
For movies that I love, I'll let slip the bigger box for sure.
I will say with Rob's, though, that is one image. And I think you brought this up. The days back in my days of like running into VHS stores, seeing a cover on a VHS tape and wanting to rent it just because what you see, I definitely would jump on that one that you showed there. It looks very interesting. And I was writing it down to check it out later.
I'm just glad Wicker Man's going to go the way. So
yeah,
I'm glad that release is done. So I expected that one.
All right, so we're tied here 1-1, Imprint versus Synapse. So Ryan, we'll start with you now.
So we've seen 2 of Imprint's sort of boxy type releases, and I definitely knew that was going to happen because that's what they're known for. But the reality is most of their releases are standard releases that come in the regular side slipcase. So I think we got to highlight it because I truly think they're the best in the game at that. And so I wanted to bring up a film that was super important at the time. If you were in the movie scene back then, I remember 2002's Secretary. Now, first off, original poster art on the front, which we don't get from major labels usually. That's a big deal. It's an evocative poster. That's another big thing. Not a lot of extra stuff on the front, but the important stuff. Every single one of their releases has the year of the film on the side. I wish every company did that. That is an incredible way to display the information. We get the most amount of value out of that. Also, good spy number system. Synapse does not have that. One thing that's underrated, back of this slip is very easy to read. All of the important information is in this line across the bottom. If you look at the back of any Synapse releases, it's jumbled beyond belief. Some of them you literally like, if you're getting old like me, you got to pull out a magnifying glass to find out how long the movie is to see if you're going to fall asleep. We'll talk about everything else later, but this has a ton of special features. As you can see, you got a synopsis up there, nice art on the front, but of course, it continues on the inside. An alternate poster art. This is not something that they commissioned. This is just preserving good art for the film. This was another poster that came out in 2002. And again, if you're only buying the standard, the logo and the year is still there. Spy number is still there. You're not losing anything by getting the standard. So one of the things that's important to a lot of us, and you can see, behind me, I got a lot of Criterions next to each other. They look good on the shelf. When all of your releases are like this looks incredible on the shelf, which is where the movie's going to be most of the time, unless you're watching it. So yeah, good art on the inside. All of that information still really easy to read on the back. Again, double-sided art on the inside. You've got something else to look at. It's an incredible system to set up standard releases.
All right, so Ryan with Secretary. Brian, what do you have to combat that?
I'm going to combat with that with one of those boxy sets like Aaron was talking about. Phenomena. This sucker's loaded. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite Argento films. You just got awesome packaging all around. Got the spine that pops on the shelf. The back with that cool art. Then inside, you have the alternate artwork here for Creepers, which is another name of the different cut of the film. All the information. Yes, it is a little small, but I can still read it. All right, you got the couple discs there, the Synapse Films catalog book that Rob was talking about. And you also have a bunch of art cards. Those are in here too. And you have, let me pull all this aside. It's kind of getting everywhere. And you have a poster too. I don't know if I'm going to open the whole poster out, but you got a poster. And not only that, you also have a nice thick booklet with all sorts of artwork, notes about the film, anything you can want for this movie. It's in here. Now, I do also have a steelbook of the movie that does include the soundtrack. This one doesn't include the soundtrack, so I'll give it that point off. But for everything else, this is just an awesome release, and of course, it's a thick box as well.
That is a beautiful art. That is a beautiful art. The only thing I will say, that is an Arrow. It looks just like an Arrow box set. It is pretty much the same packaging, same style. It's beautiful, but it's not uniquely Synapse. Whereas even the one Ryan showed, the slip covers for the Imprint films are very uniquely Imprint. Side loading slip covers, spines. So when you're talking to me, when you're thinking of packaging of a label, that one just looks like an Arrow, but with Synapse written on the side. Great artwork. I actually have that one too. I love it, but it's not overly unique to me. Like, it doesn't say, "Oh, this is Synapse," uniquely. So that's all I would say.
It helps the argument that Arrow did half the work on that release as well.
Oh, well, they had some friends that came in and helped them out.
Well, to be fair, I'll say right now, when Ryan showed up Secretary, by the way, which is a favorite film of mine, I was like, oh, damn, we're screwed for this third round. And then he showed the inside artwork, and I'm like, okay, now we got a chance, because I'm not going to lie, not a fan of the inside artwork for Secretary. I do love the original movie poster. That the green-looking art on the inside did not do that for me.
But every artist deserves to have their artwork archived, and I'm glad
They do,
that they're doing it.
but just aesthetically, for my own sake, I love this film. I do like the look of the Phenomenon one better, and it does for me evoke the film in total, encompasses what that film is about. Especially when you open it up and the artwork inside is what most of us in North America would have seen this movie as. We wouldn't have not seen it as Phenomenon. We would have grown up and seen it on that movie shelf as Creepers, which has this really cool looking artwork with all the insects and the creepy girl face. It's what we would know. So it reversed it. So you have this like original artwork on the outside, and that I thought was fantastic. And then you open it up and you see the creepers, like VHS looking artwork, which just is incredible. And that's all the versions of the film there. So chef's kiss on that. In actuality, I'm looking to buy Phenomenon when I get back to Canada. That's one of the ones that I had the arrow of, but I don't like the packaging. I got the old like DVD of it. And it's I'm kind of glad that you put that one out there because that was on my list to pick up, and I really need to get that. So yeah.
All right. Judges, we ready?
Can I have both contestants do a nice 360 of their packaging one more time? Perfect. This one's close. This one's very close.
You just wanted to see that secretary one again.
I did not. No, that was not.
You're like doing it real slowly.
I didn't tell him to go slow. That was them.
Got a thing for Maggie Gyllenhaal there.
All right. Okay, let's focus.
See
now.
the title really close there.
Stay focused here. Okay. Trying to mess with our minds out here. Okay. All right. Well, how am I voting again? I forgot. Okay, I got it. All right, judges, we ready? 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, all Synapse. 3 votes. Clean sweep there.
For me, I didn't care about like the poster, the book. I think all that is just like fluff for a lot of these releases. For me, it was just the artwork on that case, and with the other case having a whole bunch of words. I'm a big fan of a lot of artwork on the case, and then you pull out the actual movie, and then all the information is on the movie. It's a personal preference, but that's what I was kind of going with. And every single imprint release has the slipcover case. I wish I could have voted it for one of these rounds, but yeah, the box set was nice.
This was a tough choice for me. I was right when Secretary was pulled. I'm like, ooh, it's going to have to go to Imprint this one. Because I love the typed font on the side. It's like, oh, an actual like Secretary typewriter made that. That's really cool, unique to the spine. But that Synapse one, oh my gosh, just so eye-popping, so much artwork there. If I saw both of them side by side and I had to pick one, I had to go with a Phenomenon. And
well, it also would have been
was
different
cool
because
on
the J
front.
card would have been on Phenomena too, and that would have hit it with all that information. So, if we're going to get technical.
All right,
Fair
Corey, why'd you vote Synapse?
I was going with that, the artwork and the colors all the way around that. I think that popped. I know some people said, who cares about the book and the poster in there too. That's part of the packaging as well, but just looking all the way around it, I just thought it popped. The colors and the artwork all the way around that box.
But yeah, both of those looked amazing. So great choices on both sides there. I would love to have both in my collection, definitely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, I need both of those. Yeah, that Secretary release is actually banger.
All right, so we will be getting into round 2 here. Actually, a quick reminder, I forgot the audience. You can play along, audience out there. You can vote for fun in the comments too. So whenever we vote, go ahead and throw your vote in there. Also, put hashtag whatever team you're pulling for. If you're pulling for Synapse, if you're pulling for Imprint, hashtag and that boutique label, of course. But yes, let's get to now round 2. And to recap the score real quick, we got Synapse with 2, the Imprints 1. But now we're getting into round 2 where anything can change here because we are talking about the disc. And also this round is worth 2 points each. So 2 points on the second round. Every time we go up in a round, we go up into another point allowed. So disc, once again, we're talking anything about the disc, the movie itself, the special features, all the quality and transfer and visuals and audio and all that great stuff. So we are ready here for round 2. Let me go ahead and mix up the team so we have different people competing. And there we go. I think everybody has a new challenger there. All right, and I think last time we had Imprint start. So let's have Synapse start with Aaron for round 2 disc.
This was the hardest one because for them, there's a lot of great stuff that I could pull out, and I was wondering what order I'd be in, so I just had 3 different choices. But I'm Canadian, and I'm going to go with a Canadian release. Actually, one of my favorites. And this is a little movie called Curtains. Curtains is an absolutely fantastic release. And if you had ever seen this movie before the Synapse version of this film, the look of it was absolutely atrocious. It was one of those almost nearly unwatchable films. Anybody that ever got Severin's Kathy's Curse, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This one here was an absolutely gorgeous film. So this is a film, by the way, for those that haven't seen it. It was meant to be like a slasher film. And the producer wanted to make a old school slasher film. The director wanted to make a giallo. They hated each other. So you've got this like mixture of this really unique film. And what makes this great is, like I said before, we're going to be talking about Synapse when it comes to remastering. It's what they do. It's what they're best at. It's what takes them so long to get a release out. They'll announce something, then maybe like a year or two later, you'll get that release because they take the time to do it right. And the features on here are absolutely fantastic. The behind the scenes drama behind Curtains is one of those things that you'll go back to and you'll watch again because holy crap, these guys did not get along. There was issues. There was stuff behind the scenes of this. But this has a absolutely fantastic remaster, taking a movie that did not look good. Like across the board, was a horrible looking release until this version came out. That brought new eyes and new life to a film that really, truly deserves it. And it's one that I've highlighted on my channel in the month of October because it is just one of my favorite films. If you guys in the comment section have not seen this, check out Curtains. It's a lot of fun. For Black Christmas, the original Black Christmas fans, the girl in Black Christmas, the one that gets killed at the beginning that you see in the attic all the way through with the plastic on her face. Yeah, she's one of the stars of this film. It's a great one. So I had to go with Curtains.
All right. Tony, what do we got to combat that?
Yeah, so for my selection, I went with the film. And one thing I love about Imprint is the fact that these discs play here in our Blu-ray players in the United States. And we never got a release for School Ties on Blu-ray, but Imprint did a release for School Ties, one of my favorite films from 1992 with Brendan Fraser, Matt Damon, an all-star cast. It's loaded down with special features. You have a director interview. You have an interview with Matt Damon. You have an interview with Brendan Fraser. A really good story. 1950s prep school with a football team, and they find out that one of the players is Jewish. So it's a story about bullying and how to treat people. And to me, I think this is a great release, and I'm very thankful to have this one in the collection.
All right. So School Ties versus Curtains. The team's got anything to say about these two? I haven't seen either of these movies.
Both are good.
Can I ask a question on these?
Absolutely.
For both presenting those, both of them, I've seen School Ties. I've not seen Curtains, but that doesn't matter in this this case. But when we're talking about the disc and special features on there, is there a particular special feature that each of you would want to highlight from that disc that really makes it stand out for you?
Love that question, Corey.
Yep.
I'm a big special features guy, so that's going to be big into like who wins each round for me personally.
There's two on Curtains. The big one is The Ultimate Nightmare, The Making of Curtains. And like I said before, The Ultimate Nightmare is the making of Curtains. It's fascinating to see the behind the scenes, the struggle and the power between the producer and director and how it affected everybody and how this film got made. And because of this, made it a more unique film than it might have been otherwise. It's an absolutely fascinating thing. But here's another one. There's an Kupka, a filmmaker in transition. So it is a really cool, like a vintage, it's a short documentary feature on the director Kupka, who's was making the film. And it's just, sometimes you get these little kind of slices of history back on when the film initially came out. And you're seeing like back when when they're working behind the scenes, like when they're still feeling, energized. and it's this little time capsule of movie making that is absolutely wonderful. Like the main one is the Ultimate Nightmare for sure, but people often forget that, and people kind of sometimes forget about like these archival featurettes. But especially when you're looking at the behind the scenes, behind the camera, but like it shows Kupka like before he actually started on Curtain, so we get to see his kind of his process and who he was, and it's interesting to see because seeing where he was at then and where filmmaking was at then is an absolutely fantastic thing.
Yeah, and as far as School Ties, this right here has a commentary by a film historian throughout the whole film, talking about the relevance of the storyline with the prejudice and what was going on back in 1950s. Also, you have 5 different interviews from 5 different cast members, all separate. And you also get a theatrical trailer. So who doesn't like a theatrical trailer, right? And you also get a interview with the director. So to me, I think that's great. It is loaded with special features, as you can see. And do not forget, there's a theatrical trailer.
All right, I won't forget it, Tony.
This one has auto commentary too. And one thing I will say is this in these days when you were getting like Blu-rays and DVDs were still around, Synapse was one of the companies that made it feel special for you to get a Blu-ray. So you would get like certain features would be exclusive to the Blu-ray. And the Kupka thing that I mentioned was exclusive to the Blu-ray. It wasn't on the DVD release of Curtains. And it made it special to get the Blu-ray at a time when people were still kind of like deciding.
All right, judges, we ready?
Yep.
All right. On 3 then. 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, 2 Synapse right there. I'm the only one for Imprint. So I guess I'll defend my choice there. It was very close. I kind of want to check out both movies now. But the interviews, Tony, you mentioned all those interviews. I love interviews. So that really sold me there with those particular special features.
I'm much more of a fan of like a nice put together documentary with those interviews. So if you put a little bit more time and editing into those interviews into one consistent chunk, that's where my points are going to go. But I kind of liked how Aaron was kind of going off of this movie has never looked this good. Tony's kind of fight back to that was it's region free, which you can kind of say that to all Imprint, but I would much rather go over picture quality than where I can play it.
Yeah, I'd see where I jump in. It was very close. I'll say that for me on both of these. But with Aaron's, with some of the maybe the controversy or the turbulence that they had making this movie and how it created what it became, that's kind of interesting to me to hear that backstory and some of that in the special features. But I've seen School Ties before, and from what Tony says, I want to get that released now and watch those, like listening to the commentaries from the different actors and things like that. It was very, very close for me. But
yeah, if you want to see it on Blu-ray, that's the only way.
Yep.
And it had the theatrical trailer.
Yes.
Don't forget. I've got both in my collection. I've seen School Ties. I have not seen Curtains, and you have completely sold me on what movie to watch before Halloween hits, Aaron. So Curtains it is.
Oh, it's a fun one. The director walked off set on Curtains. He walked away.
Interesting.
All right, Ryan, what do you got?
Nothing more punk rock than 1982's Ladies and Gentlemen, the Fabulous Stains. First off, amazing movie. Everybody that has seen this movie loves this movie. And if you want to watch this in HD, just like Tony's pick and many of Imprint's releases, this is the only legit Blu-ray release anywhere in the entire world of Ladies and Gentlemen, the Fabulous Stains. So just that is a big deal. Most of Synapse stuff, let's be honest, it gets exploited by like 4 or 5 different labels. This release, though, excellent Blu-ray transfer on this. It looks very good. I really wish more people would check it out because this is one of their better discs. On this release, 3 different audio commentaries. That is practically unheard of for something that only cost $25 US. That is an incredible package already, but if that's not enough, you also get 2 visual essays from some incredible film scholars, including one of my favorites, Kat Ellinger. Beyond that, there's an audio interview with an actress. But one of the more important pieces on here is a brand new interview with Debbie Rochon. And anybody that loves the 80s, it's new content with Debbie Rochon. Like, looking back on one of the most formative movies ever for many of us, this is an incredible package. And to make this a little more personal, yes, there are 3 commentaries, but the third one is done by Lee Gambin, who passed away this last May. He is an incredible commentator. He did that with the musician and journalist Allison Wolfe. And as somebody that currently works on special features for like 12 different labels, Lee got me my first job in the industry, actually. And so to be able to look back on this for somebody that loved music, for somebody that loved music films, to have him be able to speak on literally one of the most formative punk rock films of all time, this will never leave my collection.
And Ryan, I haven't seen that movie. Is it a bio picture or what?
No, it's a bunch of girls that are basically starting a punk band. Like,
okay.
it is the most, it's incredible. You have to see it.
All right, Rob.
Alrighty, I'm going with Creature from the Black Lake. So this one I went with more because of the picture on the original for its time was it looked good for its time. The director really was able to make a good movie out of what it was. This is an old-timey Bigfoot movie. From the name of it, it sounds more of like it's stealing the Creature from the Black Lagoon, but it's not. But this has great special features, a great audio commentary with the original writer of the movie. But when they did the 4K restoration, a lot of the blacks and the grain came through very well, so it looks awesome. Then at times too, the story, it becomes like this drama story. So at the end of the day, it's like this fun Bigfoot, Sasquatchy, film. And then in the special features, what's cool is the the writer talked about how there's this image from back in the day that all the Bigfoot and Sasquatch movies got like the original look from, and he didn't want to steal that. So he used this whole idea of trying to use dark corners and stuff to really make it look as if something was there, but they really didn't have to use the Sasquatch that much. So it was cool to hear about how they were able to make a different type of Sasquatch movie rather than what like was being made at the time. But this one's a lot of fun. If you've never seen it, I think Synapse is the only one that's done a Blu-ray or 4K for this movie. But yeah, I thought I'd pick something different. And then yeah, it's got a good amount of special features on it. This one's a lot of fun.
All right. Teams have anything to say?
I've never seen either movie, but they both sound kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. So I don't really know, but I've never seen either one.
I'll also say Golden Ninja Video did release it on Blu-ray before Synapse did.
Okay.
All right. So I guess we're ready to vote, judges?
I think so.
All right. Oh, this is a tough choice here. All right. All right. I'm ready. 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, 2 Imprint.
Very close.
All right. Corey, why'd you vote Synapse?
I don't know. I have not seen either one of the movies. Both sound interesting to me and I want to check them out. But just some of the things that Rob was saying about hearings, and I'm sorry, we got a dog that wants to jump in on, so if you hear my dog barking, I apologize. But just hearing about how they were trying to choose some creative filming styles to, work with what they had. I always love hearing stories like that, to hear how they work with a budget and how they pull off their vision within those constraints, but still get that, the emotions, the feelings, whatever they want to have come across, have that happen, but they do it creatively, and to hear how they approach that and tackle that. So that sounded interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jake, why'd you go Imprint?
Main 2 reasons. I didn't go Imprint. Or no, I did go in print. I'm sorry. The main reason why I did that. Sorry, no. Sorry about that, Ryan. Yeah. The video essays. I'm a huge fan of video essays, and I don't think enough companies go and utilize those. They always just put an essay out in a book. I'm never going to read it. I will definitely watch a video essay if it's on a disc. And then your final last jab in like the 10th round saying this has already gotten a release. That was kind of the cherry on top for me.
Yeah, that's exactly what did it for me as well, Ryan. Without that line right there, I was going Synapse. I had Synapse ready. I was ready for it because Rob, you did a great job talking about the movie, how they filmed it, all the like darks, and it being a Sasquatch movie sounded really cool. So I'm like, oh, this movie sounds very interesting. I don't know much about the other movie besides a punk rock type of band. So I was leaning towards Synapse, but then when Ryan's like, oh no, that actually did come out on Blu-ray from this other place. I'm like, okay. Ryan came to play. That was defense all day right there. Had to give it to Imprint.
The 4K scan from Rob too. It's just like you can't really say that a lot with Imprint stuff, and I know Synapse kind of is known for their transfers. So it's just that round was very, very close.
All right, we are now over to Brian.
All right, so I know this isn't like a packaging one, but I'm just going to show it off anyways. I got the Kindred here, so the slipcover over the steelbook. A nice package and everything, but what's on the disc is the most important part. There are 3 discs in here. One of them actually has included the CD soundtrack score to the movie, which is a great score. The reason why I love this disc so much is that it does include Inhuman Experiments, the making of the Kindred. It's an audio documentary for this release, and it's 52 minutes long. I love whenever companies put out making of documentaries that go in depth with all the actors, the creators, the directors, everything. And this one does that. It also has an awesome compilation of creature effects, a special compilation of the artist that did all the creature effects in here. His on-set footage, about 15 minutes long there. There's just all sorts of cool stuff. And this disc looks amazing. It looks like a 4K, but it's actually a Blu-ray. So it's a 4K scan. Maybe that's why, but like everybody said earlier, the Synapse just kills it with the transfers, and this is no exception. It looks just like a 4K to me. All around, just great disc. I love the set for the Kindred.
And Brian, I have not seen that movie. What is that movie about?
It's about kind of a dwelled monster that lives inside of this mansion. That it's kind of like a monster that was kind of created in a lab kind of situation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, Nate, what do you got?
Okay, so I went with a movie that I actually saw this in the theater back when it came out, 2006. And I went with my sister to see this. And I remember it was so polarizing because I loved it and she hated it. And so automatically it made it an interesting movie that, I met people who really enjoy it. And I met people who were like, oh, that movie just drives me nuts. So the movie I picked is a movie called Bug. This is William Friedkin, a master director, William Friedkin. And great movie about paranoia. Mike, have you seen this one? Do I gotta tell you what it's about?
No.
Okay.
Yes, please tell me what it's about.
All right, you get first of all, 2 amazing performances. Ashley Judd, Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon plays a guy who is convinced that he has an aphid, like a little bug underneath his skin. And he's kind of crazy. He's all the way crazy. So he meets Ashley Judd. They have like a little thing. And then that paranoia starts to kind of spread to her character as well. And I won't say much else besides that because I think it's worth watching. It's based on a stage play by Tracy Letts, who wrote the movie as well. So it's, the guy who wrote the play. And it does play that way because it's 2 people in a room most of the movie, in a hotel room. You just kind of watch it unfold from there. The special features here, automatic. When you got an audio commentary from William Friedkin. If you've ever listened to William Friedkin talk, it's one of the best things. Every interview with him, he usually says something hilarious. And his insight is great. There's also a discussion with William Friedkin. It's like 30 minutes. So like an interview. There's also a second commentary with 2 other like film historians too. So 2 audio commentaries. Also, just like Ryan's movie, just like Tony's, this is the only Blu-ray that exists. It was only DVD. Kino's doing a 4K next month. It has the same exact special features. So It's just a 4K transfer. They didn't even add anything new. So to me, I'm not even upgrading it. The movies doesn't scream 4K anyway. It's shot in a very intentional way. So yeah, I think Bug, if you've never seen it, great film, 2 commentaries, and an interview with William Friedkin. And it's the only Blu-ray of it unless you want to watch it on DVD. I don't even think it's streaming anywhere. It's kind of like a smaller movie.
All right. So, Brian, I got to ask, is that the definitive edition for Kindred, or has another label released?
I'd say so. I know it's been released on DVD and stuff before, but I think this is the only time it's been on Blu-ray, in my opinion. I think people were waiting for years for the restoration to happen. So
It's definitely the definitive edition for Kindred.
Yeah.
One thing
I know
I gotta
Ryan knows
mention
all this stuff, but
is the cast for Kindred is freaking incredible. This Rod Steiger, right?
Yeah,
if
Rod
it's
Steiger,
possible. Like the cast on the Kindred is absolutely amazing, and it's kind of interesting because I was talking about that film 2 days ago with a friend of mine who that's one of their favorite releases that they have in their collection. So they watch it every Halloween. So I adore that. Like both of those films are good. I love Bug and William Friedkin. Listen to William Friedkin talk. I can do that all day long. What an amazing like conversationalist he is. And Bug is an incredible film. Kindred is the definitive edition of what that is right now. Bug, like you said before, it's getting a 4K. So there is a 4K release coming up. And as far as we know right now, this is Kindred at its absolute best.
Yeah. For the record, since not much was said on the restoration for Bug, Kino is using the exact same restoration for the 4K disc. So they said, this looks good enough. Let's just put this on a UHD. So it's literally the exact same release, and it will be the definitive release of Bug.
And it had this poster on it, but it looks worse, the Kino one. Like they added more text on the bottom and shrunk it. So I don't know, Kino, and I like Kino. I represented them in the other one, but a little lazy on that release. I don't even think like I said, I'm not even getting it because it's the same movie in every aspect, except as Ryan mentioned, it's on a UHD. Also, I forgot Tony, theatrical trailer. So
oh wow, yeah.
Theatrical trailer.
Gotta get it. Gotta get it.
Gotta get it in. All of them. Theatrical
there's a trailer on this one too.
I actually had Bug. I actually bought Bug for the collection just because that was the only way to add it to the collection.
And there's
love the movie.
TV spots on this one too.
Ashley Judd and Michael Shannon gave the best performances in that movie. They're both freaky.
I'll see your TV spots and raise you Bug an introduction. So there you go. It's got an introduction.
All right, judges, we got a vote here.
I think so. I'm good.
I'm back and
I'm good.
forth here. Oh, what am I going with? Okay. All right. We ready? 1, 2, 3, reveal. Synapse. Clean sweep right there.
I love Bug. Like Bug is an amazing, underrated film. I have that release. I was not a fan of the special features on there, and the commentary is fine. But yeah, I haven't seen the Kindred, but it's been one of the ones I've wanted to add to my collection. And making of documentaries, man, like that's like the main thing. Once I watch a movie, I want to learn as much about that movie as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was neck and neck for me, but I like the addition of the soundtrack or the score, in there.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of pulled ahead for Kindred for me a little bit.
Yeah, this was a tough choice, but because that Kino release is coming out, even if it's the same restoration, because you can get it from another boutique label, that did play a factor there. I have to go with the definitive edition. Had to go with Synapse there. Nate's like, I'm mad at that.
No, it's fair. Hey, listen, it's fair. I love it. It's great. You
We
guys
can all
are
agree.
impartial. You're doing a great job. I'm
We
not
can
being
all
sarcastic.
agree.
Yeah,
Bug's a good movie, and it sucks that Kino's not adding anything else to it.
Exactly.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I love Kino, but it's like, why am I going to buy the same thing again? Well, I bet you I can't even tell the difference on it. Like the way the movie looks, I can't imagine a 4K is really going to even do much for it. So,
But now I'm excited to pick up the movie because I don't already own it. So I'm like, ooh, wait for a Kino.
they're doing a Blu-ray one too. Just get the Blu-ray. You probably save a couple dollars. It's the same, the same thing.
I don't know. I like my 4Ks. when I get them on a discount too. If that gets to like $17 in a Kino Lorber sale, I
Oh,
mean,
it will.
It will, for sure.
I like my dollars too, so sometimes I lean to the Blu-ray once in a while. So 4Ks are great too, but I'm the thrifty shopper, I guess.
All right, so that takes us through round 2. Just checking the scores here. We have Synapse in the lead, 6 to Imprint's 3. But once again, it's still anybody's game because we are into the third round here. Third round is going to be box sets, collections, sequels, or creativity all mixed together. And this is 3 points each now. So this can truly turn the game into anybody's favor here. So let's go ahead and mix up the teams again. Let's see if we can get some new players here. I think, does that give us, let's see, no, we need, let's see. That gives us new players. All right, there we go. Perfect, perfect. And so we started first with, what was it?
They started last round.
Yeah.
Synapse was last
time. All right, so we're going to have to start Imprint for round 3. What do we got, Ryan?
All right. I am a big fan of crime thrillers. I'll say it that way. Everybody probably already knows what I'm picking if you know Imprint now, just by saying those words. But the biggest, most important thing here is Imprint has set a pattern for releasing incredible box sets for 90s and early 2000s crime thriller, neo-noir films that are tense, that are incredible watches. But the biggest thing is they're underseen. So many people have just simply never seen these movies. And I feel like they're making these box sets for me. Like, these are catered to my taste exactly. So I have to go with the first of the After Dark neo-noir cinema box sets. This box set, 6 different films. After Dark, My Sweet, Mortal Thoughts, Rush, One False Move, Flesh and Bone, and Twilight. Hard box all the way around. It's got that notch that we talked about earlier. That's amazing. The colors on this thing is great. Fits the films very well. But the biggest thing, the movies themselves are astonishing. No other labels are really focusing on films like this. And if you are somebody that you respect some of the movies that come out in 2024, but really long for incredible set pieces. When directors were given a little bit of a budget to travel to Bosnia to shoot for a month, and these films will deliver on that in spades. So many of these are shot on location. They're done with all practical effects, all of these with incredible cast. On top of that, you have individual cases for every movie, which I don't necessarily love. I'd rather have a compact package. I agree. But this is mostly, for me, what's on all of these discs. You also have a long book in here that covers all of the films. But if you are going to do this with every single one in its individual package, this is how you do it. You give everyone their theatrical artwork, their own time to breathe, their ability for you to respect each of these films with brand new special features, and you curate the box set in a way that people look back on and say, well, damn, I have to have this because these movies are incredible. And if you've seen at least one, you know what you're getting into with the rest of the box set. This is one of the best releases literally of the last 5 years.
All right.
Another note on what Ryan just said. Those box sets sell out so quickly. So if you don't get them within the first few days or weeks of release, you don't get them. Those things are so sought after.
I think 1,500. They usually do 1,500 for each one.
All right, Aaron, what do you got?
That's a great one, and it's a fantastic one. Well, I chose something that has been put out by other companies, but I really think that, and I have other editions of it by other companies, but I think that this is the definitive edition of this. And sometimes things get put out by different places because it's just that damn good. And we want to talk about like our passion when it comes to this. The Demons set with Demons 1 and 2, 4K set, loaded with special features. Absolutely, like, look at this. And I mean loaded with special features. Is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm glad I went first because I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure some of my other teammates would have chose this one as well. It is an absolutely stunning set. Not just that. Let's just go on the inside. So we have the artwork on the inside, but when Demons came out, it there's a sequence in that where Michele Save is going around and he's wearing this like metal mask, right? And everybody, they're in the subway. They get this ticket, this gold ticket to go to see this film, and they reproduce the gold ticket and put it in there as a bonus feature. And actually, Netflix did that, the transfer, which is absolutely amazing. In Demons 2, it's a birthday party. So what did they do? They went out and they reproduced the birthday party invitation for Demons 2. It geeked me out, like 100%. I love these films. The soundtrack on Demons and Demons 2 are fantastic. Demons especially has this incredible rock soundtrack. If you like rock, then you're gonna love this film. There's a poster, there's the Synapse thing, and I'll show you the poster real quick because it's not only and the poster looks different than the artwork on the disc, which is something I like. So here we got the Metropole, the infamous theater that everything happens in, and that mask that you don't want to get cut by that mask, guys. Once you get cut by that mask, that's it. It is an amazing looking release. The features on here are incredible. We have interviews with Dario Argento. We have an auto commentary with Lamberto Bava and Sergio Stavoletti, with Claudio Simonetti and Gioretta. If you like your Giallo and your horror stuff, you're going to know all those names. There's conversations here with Lucio Cosi, of course, who runs there, who's a director himself, but also runs Profondo Rosso, the Dario Argento store / museum that I'm going to see in Italy next year. There is some amazing commentaries on here. Featurettes are incredible. They've got different festival conversations as well. It is a loaded release. It is absolutely stunning. It is gorgeous. It is one of my favorite pieces in my entire set, and I have over 10,000 movies in my collection. But this is one that I watch and rewatch over again. I had I like my steelbooks, right? Jake will know this. I had the old Arrow Blu-ray steelbook that was really hard to get. But the second that I was in Sunrise Records and I knew I was getting something, I had my money there. I didn't know what I was going to get. I had 2 or 3 box sets picked up. And then just as I'm walking out, I see this and I turn around and I go back and I look at it and I'm like, it was reasonably priced too. This was not an overly expensive set. So I didn't have to pay. I wasn't breaking the bank on the set. And it's important. And for me, shelf space, real estate in my collection now, it's important. As I get more movies coming up, I want a nice set that I can actually put in here that's not going to take up too much space, but one will still look fantastic. I gotta love that, Michele Save, picture right there, the metal mask. It's just a great set. It speaks to what Synapse does best, which is their transfers. The special features are always fantastic. Their making ofs, the fact that they go in and try to get as much as they can into each and every one of their releases. Demons and Demons 2 for Synapse was a labor of love, and you can tell it. There's an Arrow edition. It's good, but the Synapse one really stands out. It's as I'm talking about it, I'm a guy that can talk. Obviously, I talk a lot, but when I get overexcited about something, and this is one of these films sets that I feel passionate about, I kind of lose my words, and Demons made me lose my words. So there you go. Not anything that shuts me up or makes me ramble. Yeah, there. That's the reason right there.
Demons is a great release, you're right. But unfortunately, when you say the Arrows was just okay, Synapse had to have Arrow co-produce this entire release, and Arrow did all the special features and all the extras. Synapse only did the restoration. This is Synapse versus Imprint. I didn't know it was Imprint versus Synapse / Arrow.
Well, that's true, but here's the thing. Like I said, yes, different companies put out Demons, and Imprint were put out those releases, but Demons was one of those movies that people wanted to get on both sides of the continent. So
I agree. They're identical releases. They literally worked on it together. They helped each other out.
All right, judges, we got our information.
Okay. I listened to everything. What's the exact category again? I'm almost thrown off now.
It's not just box sets anymore.
I'm sorry.
Third round: box sets, collections, sequels, or creativity.
Okay, sorry. Like I said, I was listening to everything from both, but Just wanted to make sure I'm considering things the way they should be.
Does anybody from Synapse have anything to say? I know that the other two participants from Imprint said something about the box set.
No, I just love that release. I don't know. I know it partners with Arrow, but a lot of companies partner with other companies, so we're just voting on whatever Synapse put out this time around versus Imprint. Imprint takes a lot of transfers from other companies. They don't do like hardly any of their own transfers. So
that's not what I was saying.
When I think of a box set, though, I think about a collection of movies together in a set.
Yeah,
which is what this is, though. Like this is like these are the Demons movies. Like there's unofficial Demons, like you want to go with Ogre or something like that, but there's not an official Demons 3. As of this time, it's definitively like what there is for Demons, and it is those films at their absolute zenith. It's at their height. And if you're
what I like about the Imprint is the fact that it's a themed box set, and it's got a collection of different style movies for that theme. And that's kind of what I like about that neo-noir sets.
Brian, what I was saying is Imprint, they license restorations and films from studios. Arrow and Synapse both licensed the same films and decided to work on it together.
Yeah.
So Arrow produced a lot of the special features and the actual physical, what they were doing for it. Synapse, Don May is a genius. He's the one that did the restorations for both films. And so they basically just traded assets. So without Arrow, the Synapse release would not be even half of what it is.
Vice versa.
Yeah,
yes.
All right. All right, judges, we got a vote.
Oh, these are getting tough.
I'm torn. I'm very much.
By the way, I love you, Aaron.
Here, man.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, Synapse takes it.
Congrats
wow.
to Arrow. Good job.
Well, as the dissenting opinion there, I guess, Imprint, it was an actual box, which is nice. There was a lot of films in there, and it looked like movies I would want to watch. Like One False Move I saw. I'm like, oh, okay, that looks like a cool themed box set. Demons, I have not seen the Demons movies. So if I'm looking at both of them on the shelf, I'm like, you know what? I think I will go with the Imprint box set right there.
Yeah, that's the reason I asked for you to clarify the category for this round again, just to make sure I was looking at things in the right light. Both looked great. So, but the creativity, I don't know. I had a little extra, for the movie ticket and the invitation being included in that set. I thought that was a nice touch with it. So. Yeah. Anyway, that's why I asked for you to clarify what the category was.
And I'm glad you did. I love physical goodies in my physical media. That's always a nice added touch. But we were kind of like going into semantics, me personally, with the Synapse and Arrow Video. This is Synapse versus Imprint. Synapse brings Arrow Video into the realm and has them create an amazing release. Technically, that shouldn't matter in this competition. If they put out a phenomenal transfer, Don May helped with the transfer. That's the thing that sings to me the most about these movies. They absolutely pop off the screen. I love the After Dark box set. I have 1 and 2. They're great. And I love having a random collection of films in a box set. That's the beauty of box sets. But for me, Demons 1 and 2 is just on a whole nother level.
All right. So let's see. Who starts next round? I'm sorry, that one lasted a while. Okay, Rob, you're up. Oh, sorry, Rob, you are muted there. Let me unmute you there. You're ready. You're good, Rob.
Alrighty, so I didn't have like a crazy box set, so I did go with one that I thought just from the art and the creative side of it. That's the Suspiria 4K set. I think the restoration on this thing is amazing and what Synapse was able to do. And then the special features are just, it's this big block of stuff right here. It just goes on and on and on. And the music from that Goblin did and how they were able to get that audio so amazing on this one. And even without it being lenticular, it in some form looks lenticular from that art, and they were really risky going with this image, like this new way of how that image looked from the movie. but I just love this release. What's really cool about it is, like a lot of them now do, they have like the other artwork inside, like the original artwork from the poster, and then it's got the other separate disc for all those special features on there. So this is just a great set. I love what they did with this one, and I think this is the only company that was able to do the 4K of Suspiria so far, which is awesome because this is a great movie. And I know, like with Phenomenon, a lot of them they've been released through different companies, Tenebrae, but this is the definitive 4K. I'm pretty sure this one's awesome. But yeah, when it comes to Argento, I think this was the one he was able to make look the best. And they were able to take this when they remastered it and they made it look so clean. It sounds so great. And it's just one of those movies that if you've never seen it, it's one for the senses. Like, it might not be the scariest, it might not have the craziest story, but you've never seen nothing like Suspiria once you've seen it. It's so different. It's so out there. I love this release.
All right, Nate, what do you got?
All right, so one thing I love about Imprint is the box sets. I am a fan of film discovery, finding new movies, but within a genre. So I'm glad Ryan showed the neo-noir set. You know, they have like the adventure sets and this genre where they'll just kind of mix and match these movies. I think people do that kind of like fantasy booking almost, where they're like, well, if I could make a box set, you know, and I love that they do that. Another one that they do that I like is when they do the film focus, which is where they pick an actor or an actress and they put a few of their movies. So I'm just going to pick a light one here because I love this actress. Mike, I know you're a fan, and I'm just saying this is a good set. So I'm going to go with the Jennifer Connelly film focus. You know, you get all your same, here's your little notch. There it is. One thing, too, that I like about the box sets is that they keep the numbers on the side. So if you're putting these on the shelf with the other movies, the numbers keep going in order. And if you're putting it on the top, you get the top of her head. You get Jennifer Connelly there. Of course, this one's just 3 movies. Some of the other ones are more. House of Sand and Fog, the only Blu-ray. There's no U.S. Blu-ray of that movie. Waking the Dead. And then, I know you love this one, Career Opportunities. Little career opportunities in there. And a book. And I read this. You know what? I don't even read a lot of books, but I like her. And they literally go movie by movie and just kind of talk about the making of them and things like that. But the cool thing with these, and I'm not playing a second one, I'm just going to show for example, is that they're uniform. So this is the Gene Hackman one, and it looks the same. So if you put them next to each other on the shelf, they still look great. If you have the Marlon Brando ones or anything like that, I like that uniformity. I think Ryan was talking about with the slip covers, where the way things look on a shelf is also important to me. So these I typically keep on the shelf, not like on top or anything like that. But I think this is a great set. I actually love these movies. I love Jennifer Connelly. House of Sand and Fog, I had never seen it. This was a first time watch, and it is devastating. I did not know what I was in for, and it's a devastating movie. So I'll just warn you with that. But yeah, I'm going to go with the film focus for Jennifer Connelly for this. And it's a box set in a box.
All right. Well, my vote's ready. Judges, do you need any more information?
I got I'll go to bat for Suspiria a little bit because this is what I do. I just think that the package for Suspiria is absolutely incredible. I love the fact that they've got that has the US like the opening, right, with the breathing, like actual breathing, like Suspiria, like coming on the screen. The breathing letters, which is this cool supernatural. Suspiria is a wonderful film. I love the Jennifer Connelly set. Is absolutely fantastic. The Film Focus series is a great series. And like you said, like when you want to be like kind of like backseat making these like sets yourself. If I was doing Jennifer Connelly, 7 Minutes in Heaven deserves a spot in that box set, and it's not there. And that's the Jennifer Connelly movie that made me discover Jennifer Connelly. That's what I wanted to see on that set. That was the disappointment for me, was that not being there. Anything else could have been like switched in or out. But the 3 films that are there are fantastic. I do think that this is a hard category. Obviously, Suspiria is not a box set, but this, it's a series. It's the best version of Suspiria. Are those the best editions for each of those three films? Like, maybe they are. Maybe they'll like some of them are their first time on Blu-ray. Maybe none of these have 4Ks or anything else. But like when you're going in there, like just a little bit of kind of like fuel to the fire.
All right, judges. Ready? 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, clean sweep 3, imprint. Yep.
I would have saved Suspiria for like a best movie round. It's not like a complete box. It's just one movie. I don't even think it really fit the criteria, unfortunately.
I will say that Suspiria, though, I have that one, and man, the colors just pop off the screen with that film, with that release. It's absolutely amazing. It's that's one of those movies you throw in to show off what the 4K can do, for sure.
Yeah, before Nate pulled that box set, I'm like, man, is anybody going to pull that Jennifer Connelly box set tonight? I'm like, if somebody does that, that's an automatic vote right there. But such a gorgeous looking box set. I don't have it. I really want it now even more, but I bet it's out of stock. Is it out of stock? Do those go fast? Or
I don't know. I think they do. Well, there's limited to 1,500 too. But you might be able to find one somewhere, Orbit or maybe, I don't know. Maybe they still have them.
That set looked really nice. So I'm like, oh, and career opportunities in there. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
You voted for the white tank top, right? That's all you voted for? The white tank top.
No, Career Opportunities is a great movie. One of the best movies ever made. It's a John Hughes masterpiece. Come on. It's brilliant.
I see it on Orbit.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's on Orbit right now. Honestly, I might get it. Is it
$71.99, Mike?
Oh, wow.
It's less than $25 a movie.
That's true. Oh, that is.
It comes in a cool hard box.
You don't have an imprint title yet.
Make it your first. You love that movie.
If they were
Jennifer Connelly, your first, Mike.
Yeah, come on.
That's not a bad first. That's not a bad.
You have till the end of this show to decide to order it.
Give in to the peer pressure. Buy it. Buy it now.
I know the Career Opportunities disc will get a lot of rewatches for sure.
House of Sin and Fog may not, because like I said, it's pretty sad.
What was the other one in there?
Waking the Dead.
Is that good?
With Billy Crudup? It's a drama. It's like yeah, it's interesting. It is actually a very interesting movie. But the other two are to me, they're more. I like them better. I liked all three, but I like those two better.
All right, so
the House of Sand and Fog, that's a wrecker though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's rough.
That's like that.
But it has great performance. Like Ben Kingsley is amazing in it.
No. I think it's a great movie, but it's like one of those am I gonna rewatch that?
It will jack you up.
Yeah,
it will jack you up. Yeah, watch it with someone who's never seen it and just look at them.
Yeah, just watch their face.
Yeah.
All right, Tony, you ready?
Yes. So again, Imprint does such a great job with their box sets, and for my criteria for this particular box set, even though we've already seen something similar to this, it would be the Film Focus with this beautiful black and silver foil title there. What I like about this box set is the fact that I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and Jessica Lange was such a great star back in those days. You don't really see her much too often nowadays. So when I saw the Imprint was actually releasing this box set, it actually has a film that I really enjoyed in the 80s, and that is Crimes of the Heart. The only way you can see this film on Blu-ray is through this box set. Same way with the next title, Losing Isaiah, another great film. I had all of these on VHS back in the day. I never did get the DVD.
No,
where did Tony go? What the heck just happened?
It looks like we just won by default.
I've never seen that happen before. Tony, what happened to Tony? I swear I didn't kick Tony out.
He overloaded his internet.
All right,
no, there he is.
Thank God.
Sorry about that. It's such a great box set that the whole world just shut down for a while. But Yeah, to me, I just love the fact that I'm able to own these movies because of this Imprint box set. And that's the reason why I chose it.
All right, Brian, what do you got?
Well, Aaron already pulled this title, but he didn't pull this release. So I'm going to go with Tenebrae. I know Arrow worked on this one as well. Don't fault me for that one. But this box set is amazing, and the 4K is awesome too. Not about the packaging art, but I do love that with their cutoff arm. Yeah, it's just overall fantastic Dario Argento movie. I just love it. I'm not sure what else to show about this, but 3 discs, and yeah, it's got the thick booklet in there too, and everything. So, yeah, it doesn't have 3 films. It's not by Jessica Lange, but yeah, I will pop this in before I watch any of the Jessica Lange movies. I'll tell you that much.
And is that 4K?
This is 4K, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many times have they released that one though, as far as U.S. releases? I'm just curious.
For Tenebrae, I'm not sure. That's a Ryan question.
At least 2, because I've seen it twice tonight.
At least 2.
Well, yeah, like it's. And here's the thing, though, and I'll say this: like we're on our second film focus, like box set, and we talked about this. You guys talked about sort of like with House of Sand and Fog, with the other one, and with some of the Jessica Lange ones. You're gonna watch them, and that's gonna be your watch. With Tenebrae, you're not gonna watch it once. You're gonna rewatch it. Whether it's the special features, this is spooky season, by the way. It's one of those films that Giallos that it's just absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best across the board for Giallos, with one of the greatest ending sequences of all time. I would love to have that 4K because I'm a person that has multiple Tenebraes. Just gonna put that out there. Some of my favorite films. Like when I'm talking, it's one of my favorite films. I have the DVD, like slip box edition from Arrow Video that came out a long time ago. This is what Brian has is the ultimate edition of this. And the thing is, Tenebrae is a movie that is one of the best of its genre. It's a gorgeous looking set. The girl, by the way, that you're seeing there at the beginning, like the one that you see on that case, the absolutely gorgeous case, almost got this movie to stop being made. After that came out, she was married to a famous politician. He did not like the fact that she was in the film, and he tried to get it taken off the market. So a little bit of history behind Tenebrae, but it is an amazingly gorgeous set, and rewatchability should be a factor when it comes to this stuff. And
well, Tony loved that movie,
and that's the reason. That's the reason why I was very excited to get this box set. I haven't been able to see these films since the '80s, and for Imprint to focus on Jessica Lange just out of the blue, now I can watch Jessica Lange from the '70s and the '80s anytime I want to. It's sitting right here on my shelf. I love every one of these films.
What's your favorite in the set? Like your
Crimes of the Heart. It's got Sissy Spacek, Jessica Lange, and Diane Keaton, and it's just an excellent film. But that's a lot of nostalgia for me too, from the '80s.
I think
we're going to rewatch Tenebrae because it's come out more than 15 times just in the HD era. So
yeah,
but
I think I've got 5 different editions of Tenebrae.
Because when it's such a good movie, guys. When it's so good that everybody is putting it.
I've never watched it.
It's easy to
you
license.
haven't watched it?
It's not the quality of the film doesn't mean it gets released more.
I mean, it's one to watch. Like, come on, Ryan, you love Tenebrae.
Yeah.
Be honest.
I'm not saying I don't, but I personally would much rather be able to get a box set of things that have not been able to get HD releases than something that has literally been released on HD more than 15 times.
A Film Focus, they are studio releases. We're not talking about kind of lost releases. These are studio.
Well, to be fair on that point, the Film Focus, to Ryan's point, Tenebrae, I could watch that easily. I got the Gene Hackman one. I've never even heard of these movies, and as someone who's trying to, if let's say you see Gene Hackman and you're like, wow, this guy, you're a younger viewer even. I would like to see more of their filmography for them to make it easy for you to put them all in a box where you can now see something a little more obscure. Maybe you find something that you love. I think that that's very rewarding as a film fan. as a film lover.
True.
So I like that, and I like that they don't just do like sequels. Like this is a box set of Amityville Horror 1 through 5. You know what I mean? Like these are all very different. You can have a movie marathon of an actor or a director or a genre that you like, and you'll get 3, 4, 5, 6 totally different films. So I think that actually is a big bonus.
It's a great point. It's an amazing point. It's for me, like I'm getting to the point now, I guess some of us are, where real estate is going to matter. And sometimes like those more slender cases, whether they be sets, release like that, like that's a big deal for me. But that being said, both you guys, amazing choices, incredible stuff,
All right.
Applause across the board.
Let's get down to the vote then. All right, judges. 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, 3 imprints. Yeah.
The only reason why I went this way is because I feel like, Brian, you just rushed into yours. Like, you barely showed us anything of why you thought the box set was good. Tony kind of had some passion into why he chose the way that he did. You just kind of like, yeah, this is the thing. I know it's already been talked about.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just kind of, if you didn't put in the effort, I got to go the other way.
I'll say any of these have not been easy decisions for me. So if I vote one way, I have to choose one or the other. So, you just go with a gut feeling with some of these when you go with it. But man, you all have been pulling some awesome titles and sets out. So I hope that doesn't go unnoticed, that there's a lot of great things that are being shown tonight, and it's not easy choices on this at all.
Yeah, I agree. This was a very tough choice, but just like Highlander, there can only be one, so I had to choose one. I almost went with that Dario Argento box right there because it looked to be a really nice box for Tenebrae.
I want that one.
Very eye-popping. Like, it was catching my eye. I'm like, okay, that looks really cool. But then, I mean, come on. You got 3 films in an actual, truly a larger box. Something that looked really cool, and you were talking about how that's the only way you could get a Blu-ray of one of those movies. So that was really catching my attention, especially when Tenebrae, if I want that one, I'm like, I got so many different ones to choose from. Where do I even go with it? I'll probably pick the cheapest one, but there's so many options. I don't feel like I need to get one necessarily.
But I think that was a tough choice for me, though, there are a lot of choices, but there's some pretty awesome choices to pick there, too. So that's where, I don't know. You could ask me next week, and I'd pick the other one,
Yeah.
So
I like the packaging of the Steelbook better, but the 4K for that Tenebrae set is, that's another reason to get that.
The problem here with this one is that Synapse doesn't put out that many box sets in general, so.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why I think that this category is expanded, to be honest with you. So it was like, I knew Imprint was probably going to grab this one, so I just tried to put in as much as I could.
They mostly do individual titles, not multiple.
This took me back to the Kino one, where I was like, we just have to make stuff up. Like, these movies are similar. They're a box.
Let's move on to the final round. The 4th round, best overall, represents the label. And guess what, guys? We're at a tied score right now, 9-9. So it literally comes down to this round. So you're all on an even field right now. I want to see titles that really represent your label, who's fighting for their title, how convincing you can be to decide who's going to be the champion tonight, Imprint or Synapse. So let's go ahead and randomize this selection. I'm just going to move things around. We'll see what happens. All right. That has determined it. Okay, so we are ready here. We're feeling good. Final round. Remember, 4th round, 4 points each, which I guess it doesn't really matter since we're tied score anyway. So whoever wins 2 out of the 3 right here is going to end up winning. So there'll be no tie tonight. No overtime. All right. Let's see. Who started last time? What was the team?
We started.
Okay. Yeah. So we are going to start with Synapse here. So, Aaron, you ready for this?
I don't know, man. I'm not good at talking, so we're gonna. It took me a long time to decide this category. This was the hardest category for me to choose. Not because there wasn't anything, but because there was a lot of things that could be put into this category. Tenebrae could have easily been put in this category. The Demons set could have easily been put in this category. But it was more important for me to pick a single release, not a set, not a special edition, a single release that best speaks about what Synapse does. And one of the things that has been a constant throughout this entire thing is the remaster, the way that they do things, to see films that maybe you've seen before in a whole new light, to see them like you're seeing them for the first time. And for me, Prom Night was an easy choice. As a guy that grew up with this film and has had several older editions, old DVD editions of this film, this film here looks so much better than it ever did and that I ever thought that it could. It is a truly underrated film in the slasher genre, but it wasn't just that kind of put it across for me, because this has the audio commentary. This has a cool, like, kind of a featurette, like a little documentary on the making of the film itself. It has the collection of, like, this is one thing that I'm a big fan of. I like TV, like movies and TV horror and TV cuts of films. This includes the additional scenes that were included for the TV broadcast of the film, because oftentimes back in the day, for us old people, we'd see some of these films on TV first, and you'd have to take out certain scenes and put in like newly done TV scenes to get the pad at the time, to get to the right amount of time. Anybody that's seen any of the Halloween releases, like Halloween or Halloween 2, knows all about that. Prom Night was just like that. It had like TV like scenes that were added into this. There are outtakes on this one that was exclusive to the Blu-ray. Synapse was famous for putting their Blu-rays and really kind of focusing on the fact that these Blu-rays were Blu-rays. Buying a Synapse Blu-ray was special because you were getting special exclusive features that did not go anywhere else and were exclusive to the Blu-ray edition. It got me, like, who was not sure at the time, going into Blu-ray just to get some of these Synapse releases, just to get some of those exclusive special features. There's so much incredible stuff on here. And yes, we have the original theatrical trailer and TV and radio spots. So there's that as well. But it is truly one of the best that they put out. Just to go a little bit more on the packaging, they chose, because this is like a disco one, they chose to package the CD, the DVD, the Blu-ray itself as a disco ball, which, if you've seen the movie, if you know, you know, it makes perfect sense. And the original artwork, the original poster artwork from the Canadian poster for Prom Night is right here as well. So this is like the new artwork, and this is the original art that you would have seen back in the day on the posters in the theater, as well as in your store with the local VHS release. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite things that Synapse has ever put out, and it's something that I rewatch again and again. I think it epitomizes exactly what they are as a company, from the remastering to the exclusive special features to the different choices in artwork to like going that extra little step and like taking even the Blu-ray disc and turning it into this like disco ball. It's just a perfection release for me.
All right, Tony, what do you got?
So for this particular round, my thoughts were more toward what I appreciate most about the Imprint label, and why I'm thankful to have such a big collection of Imprint films is the purpose of it just having releases like regarding Henry that I could never have gotten on Blu-ray. You know, again, this is a pretty consistent thing with Imprint. First time releases on Blu-ray. If you look at all this package for a majority of the packaging on Imprint labels, first time released on Blu-ray in any country. And again, a very consistent packaging scheme where you have the slip box and different artwork. Regarding Henry's a great film. This really isn't about the film, though. It's more about what I like about Imprint, and that's the consistency, the way that it looks on the shelf. As Ryan said earlier, the dates, the numbered spine, and that's what I really like about this. Very unique titles, a very wide range of different, you have dramas, you have classics, you have old things from the 40s. With Synapse, I'm thinking, whenever I think about Synapse, I'm thinking more of B horror type movies, or, I don't really know much about Synapse, but to me, I like the variety of Imprint and what they do, the consistency.
All right, teams. Anything to say about either? No?
Yeah.
All right. All right, judges, we ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 1, 2, 3, reveal.
Oh, Corey,
you're muted. But Synapse, I can see with the S.
Yeah.
So 3 Synapse here.
I was saying, sorry, I was having finger problems, I guess. So.
No worries. Why'd you choose Synapse?
I liked a lot of the things that Aaron was showing with that release and how that represents the brand itself. I like the reversible artwork. I like, the added touch with the disc artwork, but that does not take anything away from Imprint. I think those are beautiful sets as well. But I don't know, just some of those little extras kind of tipped me over to Synapse on this one.
How about you, Jake?
Yeah, kind of more in the same. He kind of went into full detail, every single ounce of the release, what he really liked about it, how it kind of went into what makes that movie so special. And that's what kind of won it out for me.
So I haven't seen either movie here, but the disco ball just totally sold me on that release. I'm like, oh man, if I want to get prom night now, I got to go with Synapse. So that definitely convinced me there, but good arguments on both sides there.
I'd say both are worth watching. I'd say that.
I don't think I've seen any of these movies that have been presented tonight. Besides career opportunities, I don't think I've seen any one of these movies. So I'm like, I got a lot of
all of them that don't have a white tank top you have not seen yet tonight. Sorry, I just give you a hard time. There's a lot of great movies that I'll say that across the board. Everything that's everybody's pulling are great movies. So all worth watching.
All right, Ryan.
All right, so Tony went into a lot of the fundamentals again, just talking about how the single releases are well done and important, and those are great. One thing I want to hit on is I think the other thing that they do best, and that is, as somebody that works behind the scenes on many of these releases, Imprint goes above and beyond to try to deliver what I always, just for myself, this isn't a professional thing or anything, but I call it film school in a box. They take a theme, they take a director, an actor, they take something to bring something together that many people have never seen before and deliver great restorations. They deliver contextual bonus features that deliver the important parts of what these films are for everybody that are seeing them, usually for the first time. And I think this epitomizes the first half of Imprint's life, which we haven't said tonight. We probably should point out Via Vision is the parent company of Imprint. Via Vision's been around for quite a long time, but they really stepped up in 2020 by starting Imprint. This is literally only 4.5 years into Imprint's existence at this point, and yet they have put out more than 400 titles in that time. The fact that they have been able to deliver the quality that they have in that time is astonishing. Maybe best realized in their collaborations box set, the Zhang Yimou and Gong Li. These are 8 films of 2 of the best people that have worked together so many times. 8 different films that they made together. Out of this whole 8-film box set, 2 of these had English language releases before this. That's it. The other 6, these are the first time they are on English-friendly releases anywhere in the world. But like I said, film school in a box. One thing that they did really well here is they got an incredible historian on Asian films, Tony Raines, who is great every single time that he speaks on anything from martial arts to Kurosawa to some of the more, like fundamental, you should really be seeing these types of films. He is on every single disc, holding your hand through this journey of cinema that if you just start on disc 1, this, not to wax poetic too much, this could legitimately change your life. You might have a completely new appreciation for a culture, for a director, for an actor, in a way that will teach you how to appreciate cinema from a different time. This box set, again, also limited to 1,500, sold out in record time, now goes for like $475 on eBay. Stupid. Don't pay that money. They put out a standard release. Get that. The films are astonishing. these are 8 of the best films of all time. And for Imprint to do it in one package, I mean, there's really nothing better than that.
All right, Rob.
Alrighty, so I can see Ryan went with more of the, going to the box set and picking out something that just, Imprint does amazing, which that box set looks incredible. But I went with something that, so Synapse is known to do, the restorations. They can get some special features, but this is one that when I heard they were releasing it, I needed to own it because I can remember growing up and having to watch this every year, and that's Satan's Little Helper. This is the first time it's been on Blu-ray. The story here is just so messed up and so out there, and there's an audio commentary with the director where he is funny. It's the whole time that you're watching this with the commentary. It's just a great time. I love when they do the audio commentary with the directors because you can get so much more in on the film. There's also a making of the movie showing you how they're able to, with such a small budget, get something like this done. This is just a fun one. I thought Synapse did a great job because the original DVD is awful. It looks so bad. It is terrible. So when they were able to take this and make it look as good as it does, I thought that was a great feat. But it's also just the fact that this one I never thought was going to get a Blu-ray release because it was such a low budget, small film. But to see something that I would see on the shelves at my local Blockbuster all the time and have to pick it up just because of what was on the case, which was like this murderous guy, the little, the demon guy from the movie who is the murderer, who this kid hangs out with. It popped off, and I thought that's what Synapse does, is they can take something that's never been done before and make it look so good, and something that you didn't think was ever going to come out on a Blu-ray or a 4K or something, and they do a great job with that.
All right, teams, anything to say?
I've never seen that one that Ryan showed, and it looks amazing. I want to pay the money he told me not to pay to get it. It looks awesome. I'm not going to do it, but he made me because I love the way that thing looks. And I've never seen any of those movies. So, and I've never seen Rob's movie either, and I like the way he talked about it. So I would watch the 8 and then the other one later.
It's really good choices, guys, across the board. I'm going to say this right now. I knew this was coming from Ryan. I know you, man. I forgot about. I can actually talk about the crappiness of the DVD of Satan's Little Helper because I still have that DVD. Yeah, it was a crappy quality DVD.
Yeah. So it's cool to get something nice.
Yeah.
Reverse cover art too with the original cover on there.
Yep.
All right, judges, we got our info. Jake's thinking right there. I can see you're thinking.
I loved both arguments here. I will just go down the art versus the schlock, which is kind of what both labels are kind of known for. I loved it.
All right, judges, ready? 1, 2, 3, reveal. Imprint. 3 across the board there for Imprint.
I had no idea that box set existed either. That
I didn't either.
I don't know. I think I gave my cards away, but I was like blown away. Like, what the hell is that? But yeah, I just you're saying of talking about having like a nice film school box set of a certain genre. That's great. And multiple times, that's what Imprint is known for, is to kind of either whether it's a director or a genre, they just go for, hey, if you buy this box set, you're going to be in for a good time and learn a lot about what the box set has in store for you. So that won it for me.
Yeah, I'd say that too. That box set blew me away. But what Rob was saying, it made it tough because
Agreed.
I guess whatever team you're on tonight, it is awesome to have companies like this that take movies that we have only seen in very, very bad condition, like damaged films or bad transfers onto DVDs, and like show them some love, no matter what the film is, what genre it is, whatever. Show it love and put a lot of work into it and make it into something that looks beautiful on a Blu-ray, 4K, whatever it is. It's cool to see companies doing this and letting new people, I guess, come in contact with it and enjoy it for the first time, generations after it originally came out.
Yeah, this was a tough choice. I was back and forth. I'd probably rather see Rob's movie way more than Ryan's choice there. But when you brought that box set out, I was just gasping. I'm like, is that even real? Like, did you make that up? Like, that's some 8 movies in there. I'm like, dang. That was impressive. So yeah, I just had to give it to Imprint there.
For the record, for anybody who loves Satan's Little Helper and wants it, I didn't want to take the win in a non-ethical way. Synapse release has already been blown out of the water. Go check out Treasured Films in the UK. They've used Synapse restoration and given Jeff Lieberman all of the respect he finally deserves. There's way more bonus features on Treasured Films in a hard box release, and it's incredible.
See, I didn't even know about that.
Good to know. I didn't either.
I'm like, oh my goodness, we got some knowledge tonight.
Love me some Lieberman, man.
All right, so it comes down to the final round. Tied 13-13 right now. So, wow, this is going to be interesting here.
Bring the heat, boys.
No pressure.
Bring it here. So, Brian, you ready?
Yeah. All right. So when I think of Synapse, I think of like the restoration process that it takes, and sometimes they do take years. They definitely take their time with their releases because once they put them out, they don't want to just put out a bad product. They don't want to put out disc replacements ever. And they really work with whoever the filmmaker is and whoever they can to get their release as perfect as they want to. And this one that I picked for this final round is going to be Massacre at Central High because I love this movie. It's great. This hasn't seen a release, I don't think, since VHS. I don't think so. I haven't seen any DVDs or anything like that, and this is the only Blu-ray release they have of the movie. I could show the back of this. It's like a gang of bullies at a high school. A new kid goes to a high school. You can't really show that because nudity. But it's just one of those high school exploitation type movies with a bunch of bad bullies just overrunning the school and that type of situation. But I just love the movie. They restored it so great. It just looks like I've never seen it before because I've only seen a VHS copy of it. And it was remastered, transferred, and supervised by the director of the film, which is unheard of for me. Usually I see that they work with the directors and the directors will supervise the transfer, but I've never seen it like actually scanned by the director. So that was different. And it also has a whole making of a documentary called Hell in the Hallways, making a Massacre at Central High, as well as many other, there's a couple audio commentary on here with a bunch of the actors and, cast members and stuff like that. Theatrical trailer, of course, Tony, TV spots, radio spots, still gallery, booklet. This thing's loaded. I just love it. And then I can't show the disc because, it's got more nudity, but it's a 2-disc set here. Awesome booklet here. Just all around awesome package. I just love whatever Synapse does and the time they put in the work they put into their releases. So.
All right, Nate, what do you got to combat that?
Okay, I'm going to lead with this one also features a theatrical trailer as one of the special features, so, and the international theatrical trailer. So Ryan showed a big box, Tony showed a regular release. I'll go right in the middle. I showed the bounty for packaging, but this is one that I think, while it shares the packaging element that I love, sometimes Imprint for me has been more, as I've mentioned, discovering stuff like movies I've never seen. Studio. Someone mentioned they do a lot of studio releases. I'm into that. For me personally, older studio films that I either wasn't born to see or wasn't old enough to watch when they came out, things like that. But sometimes they'll put out a movie that I already love, that I've seen. I saw this at the theater. I love the film. It's a horror movie. I love that they have all the different genres. So for me, the movie that I think they knocked it out the park with, it's going to be The Orphanage. It's a Spanish language film. There it is. There's your spine number and all that good stuff. Of course, comes with a book. So yeah, we got the booklet. And then it's the 2-disc. Yeah, it's the 2-disc set with the special features. 18 special features I counted while I was waiting, sitting here. I'm not going to read all of them, but it has 18. The cool thing is that There are some that are brand new for 2023. The audio commentary is brand new 2023. That's when this was released last year. And, you know, the word definitive got thrown around a lot tonight, which is great that these two people do that. And this, if it's not the definitive version, I don't know what is. It literally has new special features. Plus, there were special features that were only on the international release. Studio Canal did. And there were ones on the US release, which was just like a basic Blu-ray. And this has all of those as well. So it has collected all the features plus new ones. Beautiful packaging, a great movie. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. It's a ghost story, but it's Del Toro. He produced it. Juan Antonio Bayona directed it. It's very Del Toro, even though he didn't direct it. So it's more almost fantasy horror, but there's some good gore in there as well. And it's tragic, but it's scary. It's tense. And it's just a good kind of ghost story movie. So I think a movie I love in a package that I think is great with everything on it. The transfer is already good. It's really good. The sound is good. It's flawless to me. And I think it's the right in the medium of what Imprint does. The beautiful box, a great movie, tons of features. And I can't think that, I couldn't think of anything else better to pick for me.
All right, Nate.
Yeah.
And Brian, I got a question for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
What was the cost? What was the price of that release when it came out? Amount.
If cost is gonna matter, I'm just gonna lead with this. I remember in the second site when they threw price out because they said price shouldn't matter. I'll still say how much it was. This I got on Orbit. I believe it was like $55 that I paid for it. 50, 55, something like that.
Brian?
$49.95.
Okay, so very
They're in the
close
ballpark.
price. All right.
See if we'll get the slip.
Gotcha.
So the question I have for both of you, before that release, what was the last format that it was available on?
VHS for all I know.
Massacre at Central High also had DVDs.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Not a good one.
Not a good one.
It had a horrible DVD release.
Okay.
Max Search Central Highs. I want to talk about that in a second, actually, because I'm excited about that release. I have that.
No, this had, as I mentioned, this had Blu-rays. Studio Canal did one for like UK. They had a steelbook, and then there was a US release just from, I think Lionsgate is the studio. And then this one. That's why I kind of mentioned it's like the best definitive version on the format. So yeah, it has Blu-rays that exist.
Yeah, so he could have got it for a lot cheaper, $7.99 for that Blu-ray, but he liked it so much that he paid $50 for it.
I got rid of the other Blu-ray I had for it.
And another thought,
I love the movie.
I know me and Ryan both held that up. I actually ordered my imprint directly from Australia because I do not want to miss some of these releases. I don't get all of them, which is unusual for me, but I do spend the money to have these shipped from Australia just because I don't want to gamble with Orbit not having it.
I'm not sure if anybody remembers when Massacre Central High was announced, but it was a massive deal when this movie got announced that it was getting a release from Synapse. It was something that a lot of collectors and fans got excited about. I can say right now, along with one that Massacre Central High epitomizes exactly what they do. Getting the best remaster in, getting the director in, and we've talked a lot about film discovery here tonight and discovering films and seeing them for the first time. For a large majority of people that picked up the Massacre Central High release, they were seeing it for the first time. And whereas prom night, sure, there's releases out. None of them look like this. None of them look this good. So it was like seeing it for the first time. For a lot of cases, for Massacre at Central High, for a lot of people, it was seeing it at the first time. I love The Orphanage. It is a newer film, and there is other releases out there. But for epitomizing what Synapse is, I can't think of a better choice to go with than Massacre at Central High. Well, because it does absolutely everything that Synapse is known for doing, and it puts it in that package, and it is such a piece of history and an intriguing film that if you don't have it, I 100% recommend that you pick it up. It was the second movie about when I went back to Canada. I picked up a steelbook of the Blumhouse Halloween trilogy, and I was looking through the 4Ks and the Blu-rays, and I came across Massacre at Central High, and I gasped because I didn't know it was going to be there, and I was like so excited to see this film that I'd loved, that I'd had on VHS, and I had like a crap VHS, but to have this in like its edition, every time when you get a Synapse release, pretty much across the board, the remaster, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be the best that you've ever seen this film look. And in this case, it's a film that a lot of people unfortunately hadn't seen, and that when it came out, like people were excited about this release. People, when this got like pushed back, people were peeved that it got pushed back. But I'd rather see something get pushed back and come out with a release like that than like Russian. Then all of a sudden you're doing like corrected discs and stuff like that.
But you held up. You had this Orphanage release too, right? The Imprint Orphanage.
Aaron? Oh, me?
Yeah.
I unfortunately, where Imprint is from Australia, they're kind of expensive for me. So I can only get Imprint when I go to Paris. So I don't have any Imprint in my. I had a couple in my hands. That Neo Noir set that the Ryan showed earlier. That's my jam. Like 100%. Like that's going to be in my collection. Wow. But that edition is absolutely fantastic. They do some fantastic releases. It's just like, and I'm going to bat for my team here. But I just thought like the only reason that Massacre Central didn't show up on my list is honestly because I was watching it at the farm because like some people know, I have another home, and it's there. So.
Yeah. So what Nate saw though was all three of us Imprint people. We actually had that right here in our stack because it was such a big deal for us.
Yeah. Rob, did you have the Central High Killer or whatever? The Massacre of Central High?
No, I don't have that one.
Oh, okay.
You need that release, man.
That would have been cool.
Okay.
All right. Judges, we got our information.
Can I have closing arguments, I guess, just based off of why you think the choice you chose best describes the boutique label you're representing?
All right. Final closing arguments. What do you got, Nate?
Oh, us? Okay. For me, I had to put it back. The reason I chose that particular movie is when I think Imprint, because I'm relatively, I didn't even know they've been around. I don't know how long they've been around, so I'm glad Ryan knew 4 years. I'm relatively newer into collecting Imprint. Maybe about a year I started buying them, and when I saw this movie that they were doing that movie, and then when I got it in my hands, and I'm like, I already had some of the other big, the hard box sets. I had some of the slipcover movies, and I felt like they do both so well. And then they have this sort of middle, like to me, this is a special edition, obviously, but it's the best of both worlds. It's the good packaging. It's the good movie. It's the good features. It kind of has everything they do because they have releases where there are less features. I have movies over here with like no features on them. Every label, some not every label, but a lot. Sometimes they'll put out a movie. It's like, hey, be grateful you got this movie on Blu-ray for the first time, and that's it. And this is not that. They took care. They put love into it. The packaging's beautiful. Like I just think it encompasses everything because they put out studio movies and they're not necessarily always digging for the sort of B movie, C movie that is, one genre. So I feel like it's horror. They do a little bit of everything because we hadn't really seen any horror tonight for Imprint. So that's why I chose that one.
All right, Brian.
Well, the last time I had seen this movie is probably, I think I torrented like a VHS or DVD rip. It was scratched to shit. It looked horrible. And whenever I saw that Synapse was going to put this out, I just knew they were going to pick it up and take care of it the best they could from the original film elements and everything. And they cleaned it up immaculately. Just from having releases like Curtains and the original Demons 1 and 2 Blu-rays that we have, and Prom Night, and a couple other Synapse releases I had before this one. When this was announced, we had to wait a couple years for it, but whenever they took us along through, like if you followed them on Facebook and stuff or Instagram or whatever, they took you through the restoration process. They didn't really leave you hanging. Like every few months or so, they would update you on that sort of thing. And I really appreciate when companies do that and they pay attention to their clientele and who they're selling it to, and the people that care about the films. And I just when this was put out, it was top tier for me to pick up on day one. So that's why I chose this release for Synapse, and I think it just represents their company as a whole very well to me.
Yeah, and you know, Nate showed Orphanage, which is, you know, not an old release; it's fairly new. I waited 35 years for Crimes of the Heart to come on Blu-ray. I haven't seen it. I have not seen that film since 1987, and because of Imprint, I've got that in the collection now.
Well, this kind of makes my point from Massacre Central High, actually, is that I'd waited like you, right? Waited for years just to get that film again, and like Brian said, like the fact that like you could go on Facebook and they were like updating you, they were showing you stuff, they were letting you see the process. That's just something special that they do. And you know, Synapse, for those, you know, they started out with Laserdisc, and now they're still here, which is amazing.
All right, Ryan, last remark.
I mean, I'll point out all three of us were ready to speak on the same title because it's so definitive. We had it right here, ready to go in case somebody else showed something else that we had ready, and it is a very important film because it was an international film that was tied to Del Toro, even though it wasn't him. We've all seen that before, but it's still to this day underseen, and Imprint recognized that and gave it more of the attention than any of these other companies had. And yeah, Nate didn't want to list all the features, but brand new commentary, 2 brand new visual essays which goes into context. The bonus disc has 5 featurettes that have been edited together to essentially make a documentary out of it. This is everything that you could possibly want out of a package.
All right, Rob, final words, and then we will vote.
On the whole thing, or just on that last DVD?
On whatever your heart tells you.
I just like that it showed that Synapse really takes their time and really cares about what they're putting out. Yeah, they might put out things that, you know, might get, you know, done by Arrow, or they might, you know, take the time to go in on other things together, but their releases are always done well. And they always add in the best content, like audio commentary, things with directors, and they give you your money's worth at the end of the day, rather than just giving you this, you know, run-of-the-mill release with nothing on it. And I just really like how they care about the consumers at the end of the day.
All right, let's get the voting here. Judges, are we ready? We got an answer? All right. All right, 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, 2 Synapse, 1 Imprint. Synapse takes it, but great closing arguments on both sides. Jake, why'd you go with Imprint?
I feel like that was a good representation of what Imprint can bring to the table when every single element of their strength is put into one package, and I feel like that was a good representation of that. I liked what Synapse had to offer in that release as well, but I kind of like the camaraderie of everybody having the release. It's like, yeah, this is a staple to have if you collect Imprint. That was a very tough round, if I'm being honest. That was neck and neck.
I agree.
Corey, why'd you go with Synapse?
I thought both had great representations of the labels that they were, you know, pulling for tonight. I think with Synapse, I don't know if that just kind of tugged at me a little bit more with some of my experience with them, with I guess the care they put into, not saying the other doesn't, but the restorations, but then just some of those extra added touches, you know, and like with that movie, that kind of represents them really well, where it's taken something that hasn't seen the light of day since VHS, and they put the love and care into it and really restored it, and took the time. And it's refreshing when they're willing to be open and speak to the customers saying this is why it's taken longer than we expected, and we want to get you the final product that that we want to have in your hands. So, but that being said, the other is great too. This is so tough. It's I love both of them. So yeah, I know I'm riding the fence on this one, but both did a great job. Both have great releases, and both are, you can't go wrong buying from either one of them, I would say.
Yeah, very tough choices here. I was back and forth the whole time, but just talking about that, the restoration work and the quality of transfer that Synapse does, that Synapse is known for, really got me interested in checking out more Synapse movies. So for it to go to DVD to a really good Blu-ray release, whereas the other Orphanage sounded like there's different editions or other releases of Orphanage out there that I could pick and choose from. So maybe that is the best one from Imprint. But once again, I have other options out there I could have gone with. And then also the box itself. I don't know, the artwork wasn't really popping out to me. Like, it looked solid, but it wasn't like, oh, I have to have that. And I didn't know too much about either movie, but the other one, based on the artwork, seemed like a movie I would more rather watch. Orphanage, I'm like, okay, a horror Orphanage. I don't really know anything else there. It doesn't get me as pumped up to watch that one. So it was very neck and neck. Could have gone any way depending on the day, but I just think Synapse just sealed the deal right there, where I'm like, you know what? I want to buy a little bit from each label, but maybe I will start with Synapse.
And Nate got to show the whole packaging because there was no nudity at all on the Orphanage.
I know it's important to you, Tony.
In other words, Synapse deserved it.
Synapse was the naughty company.
All right. So, well, anyway, of course, congratulations. Your team are the battle champions. Guess it's time to finally buy from your boutique label. So I got to get my 0 up to at least one purchase there. And you guys will take home, of course, the trophy for Boutique Battle Bash for Synapse Films. I will get your icons on that trophy and then sent out to you all digitally. But yeah, congratulations again to Synapse, but also Imprint. Great job there. I think this is the closest Boutique Battle Bash we've ever had. I mean, it literally came down to the last words, very neck and neck the whole time. This was an amazing Battle Bash. So just everybody, good job on this one. This was fantastic.
I'm still bitter.
It was so good. It was anybody's game. Excellent match. But let me have the judges, and we'll go around real quick. Don't want to keep you guys too late, but just so everybody can say what you got working on, any upcoming projects, where to find you, all that good fun stuff. Jake, what do you got going on?
Sure. Steelbook Obsessed on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm trying to push for 10,000 by the end of the year on YouTube. I'm at like 9,400 now. So fingers crossed I get there. But this is a boutique video. I have a podcast, Boutique Talk. I've talked about Synapse Films with Demons 1 and 2. I talked with Tony about Imprint on Barfly, which I think is a really good example of the label as well. But yeah, if you haven't checked out the podcast, I'd appreciate it.
All right, Corey.
Yeah, Corey Wilkie's Movies and Music. You can check me out over my channel. Leaning way more into live streams, but I am actually starting to record a few pre-recorded videos, doing a little series, all of us crunching the numbers a little bit anymore, throwing out some recommendations that can be found on free ad-supported streaming services, at least in the US. So that's kind of a thing that I started my movie club that I have done with a few of you, like looking at movies that other people can check out in free ways, legally, to be able to join in the conversation without spending any money. But I also have a few live streams coming up. I have Gareth from Video Tasties coming on my channel. I have 80s Made coming on my channel, and Sam and Brendan from Our Life in Horror. So if you want to check me out, I got some fun people coming on to talk to.
All right, and Tony.
Yep, you can find me at Basement Blues. Hopefully, I will be at 10K by the end of this year. We'll see. Of course, I've been going at it a little bit longer, almost 12 years now. But you can also find me on TikTok and on Instagram. And this is a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on.
And Ryan.
I'm over at the Disconnected. I post all the announcements for all these physical media releases that are worldwide, and then every Thursday night I have a live show going over them at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. I bring on a guest. We go over all the announcements for the week, talk about them, talk about the good, the bad, and then have some sort of film discussion afterwards. Come check us out.
All right, Nate.
Yeah, first, just want to thank you for having me on. The judges, you guys were great. My teammates, you guys ruled. My opponents, you guys were awesome as well. You could find me Geeks and Flicks. We are doing currently the rest of the year. We're just doing film like series ranking. So next up, we're going to be doing the vacation movies. Derek from Pure Hangout is going to be coming on. That's in 2 weeks on Sunday, so we're going to be doing that. You can follow me on Instagram at NateFlix Reviews, and we just opened a TikTok too, Geeks and Flicks, but just the letter N, Geeks and Flicks. I just do like little top 5 recommendations and stuff like that. But it was a blast. I love this show. It's so much fun. So thanks for having me on again.
And Aaron.
Again, yeah, thanks for having me back on here. This is my second time. I got to be on the losing team last time, but we tried hard. I want to thank the judges that are here. I got to say right now that I was nervous coming in to go against Imprint, which does these beautiful box sets. And not only that, but the guys on the Imprint team, yeah, I knew this was going to be an uphill battle for some of this stuff. You guys are amazing when it comes to talking about these releases. You got the passion for it. Other guys on my team are fantastic. Brian brought it home with that last release. Rob has some choices that I kind of want to get now. I need that Bigfoot movie, just got to say. For my channel, it's my name, but it's called a cinema. And I did a lot of live streams. I still do a lot of live streams. I do a lot more pre-tape stuff now because I've got into that a bit more. I've got a review coming up for a couple different films. And I'm not quite sure because in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to Canada, and that has put everything kind of topsy-turvy. I have a Patreon, and I do a video magazine every month. And it goes to between like an hour to 2 hours long, where I do different topics within like this video format magazine. And I use I theme it every month. Like October was all horror, and it was an extra long magazine, and there's a bonus that comes with each one, a bonus video. You know, kind of like back in the days we'd have like those polybag magazines and you get that extra thing on the inside. I try to do that, but with video format. So yeah, and if you're not subscribed to everybody that's on here, guys, make sure you do, because look at the passion and stuff behind these guys tonight. They're fantastic.
And Rob.
Alrighty, guys, I want to thank everybody for having me on here tonight. I've done a couple videos with Mike, I know, over time. I haven't been able to really post on YouTube lately. You know, I have a newborn at home and everything, but it's amazing. So I'm trying to get back to the YouTube and everything. But I do have a podcast that should be coming out soon with a buddy of mine where we just sit and talk movies all the time. Because, like, I still like to talk movies and do banter, but it's hard with the whole YouTube thing. So my buddy's like, let's just do a podcast, make it easy, you know, just talk all day. But if anybody wants to check me out, I'm Rob the Har Barber on Instagram, and I post stuff on there, and I'm always looking to do shows and stuff. If anybody has anything, just let me know, and I'm there.
And Brian.
Brian Goes Blue. I'm half of Brian Goes Blue and Coco 2. That's the channel name. And we do a lot of out-of-theater reactions, as well as film in the room here with update videos, whatever we get in the collection. We collect any Blu-rays, 4Ks, all that stuff, vinyl records, toys, that sort of thing. And right by my head, I do not have the Jennifer Connelly box set up there. I don't, I promise you. But Imprint, they have over 400 releases, like Ryan said, and it was a big matchup between the two companies because Synapse doesn't release nearly that much. So I was a little nervous coming in, but we won this time, and we lost last time. So yeah, thanks for having me on, Mike.
Of course. Thank you, panel members, for being here tonight, giving it your all, putting on a super entertaining show for the audience out there, giving us even more boutique knowledge. So this was a great time. I personally got a ton of great recommendations. Like I said, I haven't seen barely any of these movies, so I got to start watching some movies here. Of course, audience, thank you guys out there for being in the chat, watching along. If you haven't already, definitely go ahead and click the like, click the subscribes, click the notification bells. Of course, go to everybody's channel, hit their subscribes, and more importantly, actually watch the content, because they're all amazing content creators, have really great passion towards those movies. And once again, if you haven't subscribed or watched their content, this is what you got to do.
Help me get one more.
You just got to do it. I know that's a little tradition me and Nate have when he's on here. I got to play that. So just help us get one more. I'm closing in on 3,000 subscribers. I'm like 400 away, just past the 2,600 marker. So that's awesome. I'm coming up on my 3-year YouTube anniversary on Halloween, actually. So I do want to do a live stream for that night. I know people are probably going to be busy with Halloween stuff, so it'll be a quick hour live stream. I'll do some giveaways, maybe some digital codes, maybe some Blu-ray discs, maybe some pops. It's going to be a fun time. So it's like my little trick or treat special for Bluetooth collectors out there. So definitely check that out, of course. Also, we still have the October challenge going on right now. If you haven't participated in the October challenge, it's super easy. You're just creating a stack of movies, pulling a title for each of the letters of October. So I believe that's 7 titles total. And yeah, just going ahead and talking a little bit about each movie. And that completes the October challenge. You can do it on TikTok, Instagram, create a YouTube video of it. If you do that, definitely share with me on Instagram so I can share it out with even more people. And once again, just have a great Halloween out there. Have a great time, everybody. And just have a good night out there. Okay, everyone?
Not another peep. Time to go to sleep.